Recording comes out just fine today. It usually does. Okay, here we go. One more little click. There. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga with Purpose. And the purpose for our class today is to try to target all of the muscles of the core. And sometimes I think when we think about what our core is, we think about these frontal muscles, the ones that help us to do crunches. And our core is so much more than just those muscles of the quote six pack. So we're going to be exploring all the muscles of the core. Remember, too, we're working on getting our planks built up this month. And so we'll be doing some planks and variations of that as well. I had a request from Chris Servati to work on learning how to get into a full side plank. So if you don't care to do that full side plank, I'm going to give you options moving forward to try to do the variation that you feel is best for you. So what I'd like you to do is just come to mountain pose and stand nice and tall. I've been noticing that my body is wanting to list over to the left a little bit. I've noticed that in the camera. So if you can't see yourself in the computer or a mirror, I need you to turn on your proprioceptive skills and try to determine if your body is stacked. So let's start from our feet. I want you to pick up your toes, wiggle them out a little bit, and then spread them out using the muscles of your feet, and then put your toes back down on the ground with a little bit of space between each toe. And then I want you to kind of grip the floor with your toes just a few times, kind of grip and release, grip and release. And then notice that your feet are kind of shaped like a triangle on the bottom. So one point of the triangle is in the middle of your heel. The other 2 points are at the big toe, ball mound of the big toe, and the little toe. So I want you to try to push into those 3 spots evenly. A lot of times the posture that we have in our body comes from how our feet are in place. So we have nice even connection from the heel to the ball mound of the big toe and the baby toe. And feel like there's a little bit of a lift in your arch. Just kind of feel that there. And then stack your knees directly over your ankles. So make sure that you're not bending them too much, or you're not extending back and hyperextending your knee. So we want to have that in a nice alignment. And then notice your hips. Are they stacked over your knees as well? Or are we hinging forward a little bit? Or are we doing somewhat of a back bend? So get that in alignment. And then bring your shoulders directly over your hips. We want to pull the shoulder blades back, nice and tall. Make sure you're not leaning to one side or the other. And then stack your head. We have that L shape where if we make a little L here, it goes underneath the chin and to the sternum. So we're not looking up, we're not looking down, but we have that nice, perfect alignment. Now, as you're doing that, place your hands on your belly. And we're going to begin to inhale and expand the belly forward. Exhale and flatten the belly and brace your abs. And just do that a few times. It's our belly breath. And as you flatten the belly, feel the muscles of your core, the deep muscles, the transverse abdominis muscles engaging. Let's take one more of those breaths. And then bring your arms down by your side. We'll start to side bend over one direction and then the other. I just want you to do it nice and easy, not too fast, but not too slow. And your body is moving through what we call the frontal plane of motion. The frontal plane divides the body into front and back halves. So our body is moving along this imaginary pane of glass that's cutting through the center of our body, creating 2 halves, the front and the back. Now let's add a little arm reach. Extend and stretch over, and extend and stretch over. And just start to explore the muscles of your core that are active during this action. Mostly it's our obliques and a muscle in our back called the QL, quadratus lumborum. Does a lot of side bending for us. Let's do one more here. And then let's bring our arms directly out. Instead of side bending as this way we just did, I want you to shift your ribs over and reach. Notice how that's a little different movement. And then shift your ribs to the other way. So I'm not really, you don't see my body coming down this way. I'm just lengthening out and shifting the ribs over the pelvis a little bit. I'm not really sure what this action in kinesiology terms is called, but we're using the muscles of the core in the obliques to activate here. And then I want you to do that little shift, hold it, and then do your side bend. And then come back up, do the shift to the left, so we'll reach, 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 and then your side bend. Good. Shift, side bend. And just notice what you might be feeling is different from just doing a side bend here, because we're creating more length in the side of our body before we laterally flex our spine. Let's do one more over to that left side, shift and side bend. And then relax the arms down. Let's go into the body wave. So we'll sit down, swing the arms back behind us a little bit, and then lift up on the toes. Good. And again, not too fast, but not too slow either. I want you to create a nice rhythmic movement. Now, I still want you to notice, except for when you lift your heels up off the floor, that you feel that triangular connection of your feet into the earth. Now, when you squat down, are your knees directly over your ankles? No, they're not. Your hips might be back a little bit further back from your heels, but your body's center of gravity is going straight down into the earth. We still want to make sure that our body isn't listing to the right or to the left, and that our head position is neutral. Now let's hold our squat down. Reach one hand, rotate. Reach and rotate. So we have two different actions going on here. We have the back oblique muscles that are pulling the body backward. But on the other side of our body, we have a pushing action. So what I want you to think about is pushing and pulling at the same time. So if you're pushing with the left, you're pulling with the right. So you're concentrating on activating the oblique muscles in the front of the body, as well as the oblique muscles in the back of the body. Maybe you can flex your wrists a little bit too here and kind of warm up the wrists, or close your fists and open your hands. Just kind of get your hands moving a little bit in this action. Check the connection in your feet. 3 more each side. 2 and 1 and 1 and come all the way up. Great job. Okay, I would like for you to grab an optional hand weight, and we're going to be doing some of that side bending that we did just a bit ago. So you should be able to take a fairly heavy weight and place it into your right hand. What I'd like for you to do is kind of shift your rib cage. So notice the weight came away from my leg a little bit, and then take a side bend. And then as you come up, just stay shifted outward a little bit. Side bend and come up. Just 3 more. We're working this left side QL and oblique. 2 more. And 1 more. And come all the way up. Great job. Switch the weight to the other side. So we can keep the hand here. Wherever you want to do with your arm is fine. But shift your rib cage out so the weight came away from my leg a little bit. And then we'll side bend. And just come back up to that shifted position. So we're not coming all the way back to neutral. Good. Maybe about 6 or so repetitions. Staying shifted. 2 more. And last one. Come all the way up. Switch the weight. Shift out to the right. Now I want you to do a side bend. And then as you come up, shift out to the left. Shift right. Side bend. Come up. Shift left. Good. 3 more. We'll do 5 reps here total. Whoop, I forgot this shift. 2 more. It's definitely a different movement pattern from what we've done. Last one. And then come to center. Switch the weight to the other hand. And obviously this can be done without a weight as well. Absolutely fine. So let's shift out a little bit. Take your side bend. Come up and then shift out to the right side. Now make sure it's a shift, it's not a side bend. When you go to the right, we're not side bending, we're just shifting. Good, 3 more. Creating some nice range of motion in the back muscles in that QL. Firing those muscles as well. 1 more time. Shift and then relax. Great job. Set your weight down. I want you to come back to mountain pose and just notice does it feel easier for you to stack everything? Have you let go of some tension in your back or in your shoulders, mostly in your lower spine? And then let's do our body wave again. So we'll sit and reach. And again, noticing your alignment, but maybe not focusing so difficultly on it, but starting to think about just letting your body sense if you're in neutral. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bring the hands right in front of you here. We're going to do something called retraction of the shoulder blades. So retract back like you're pinching your shoulder blades together behind you, and then protract, opening up your shoulder blades. Retract, protract. So I'm not moving my spine at all. I'm not rounding like this. I'm just opening the shoulder blades and pulling them together. So sometimes it's difficult for us in our planks to have neutral position if we've got tightness up into the joint capsule area and the shoulder girdle. So this is just releasing any tension in the shoulder girdle. Now, I want you to come halfway. So not protracted, not retracted, but neutral. Now, when we're doing our planks here, we should have a straight line from our wrist to our elbow to our shoulder. And I want you to notice sometimes if we do a wall plank, I'm just going to put my hands up here against the wall. If my hands are in that position, but then I start to walk my feet back, where are my hands now? They're up here. right? So when you do wall planks, if you do some today, what I want you to think about is once you walk your feet back, pull your arms back into that position. Same thing on the floor, same thing using a chair. Okay, so now we're going to come into some plank variations. So come down onto your mat, and then we'll come into a nice balanced hands and knees. So before we begin, I want you to do that protraction and retraction here. So protraction will be to separate your shoulder blades. Retraction will let your chest sink down and bring your shoulder blades together. So we protract and retract. Now, when you're doing a plank, you should not be in either one of these positions. I know that sounds really odd, but we don't want to be protracted and we don't want to be retracted. We want to be right in the middle in neutral position. So come right to the middle neutral. Square your hips. Make sure that you've got even pressure into both hands, and we'll send one leg back, bring it down, send the other leg back. Now you can always stay with these, or we can start to add the opposite hand reaching. So what I want you to make sure that you do is keep your spine neutral and try not to retract or protract your shoulder blades. Just stabilize. Your hips should be level here. The pace is entirely up to you, but not too fast, not too slow. Let's do one more on each side. And then relax. Round your whole back up to the ceiling, cat stretch. So tuck your tailbone under, really separate the vertebrae, and then reverse that into cow. So this is different than just protracting and retracting the shoulder blades, right? This is our entire spine coming into a nice flexion and extension. The cervical spine or your neck is involved in this, as well as the upper and mid back, the thoracic region, as well as the lumbar region, the lower back. Now we find a nice neutral here. We're going to come to a kneeling plank. So I'd like you to turn to the side so you can see yourself in the camera. So I'm going to turn this way. So I'll call this the right side, and I'll call this the left side. I'm going to bring a block over here just in case I need it here. So once we come up to this position, let's take a look at it. What are we seeing here? Our back leg is on an angle, or the bottom leg is on a little bit of an angle. So it's like a little kickstand on the floor. Our hips are not even. This leg is nice and straight, and your foot can be turned any position that just feels comfortable for you. And I kind of have mine off at an angle. Now, since our hips are not even, if we take our body and bring it completely upright, this side of our spine is a little shorter than this side. I'd like you to take your hands out and do that shift. So elongate, shift, and then pull it back up. And shift, pull it back up. Now, if you're struggling with being on your knee here, you could certainly sit in a chair and do this, or even stand up. So now I want to add a side bend to this. So shift out, side bend. You can bring your hand to a block or to the floor, pull up, and then come back to neutral. Shift, side bend, pull up, and neutral. Just one more. Shift, side bend, come up, and neutral. Now let's hold that side bend. So shift out, Take your side bend down and stretch. Now I'm bringing this arm over because it gives me a better stretch through my shoulder and lat and side body, but your hand can certainly be up here as well. So this is a kneeling side plank. Now, Chris asked for some explanation on how to get into a full side plank. So if you'd like to join me, you can try it or just stay in your kneeling side plank. So what we're going to do is get some weight on this hand. Make sure your shoulder, your elbow, and your wrist are in alignment. And then I'm going to take that bottom knee off the floor and I'm going to cross the ankle. Lost my balance there. Cross the ankle over the other leg. And another way we can do this is to bring the foot forward. This is called a starfish plank. Okay, let's bring that knee back down and pull yourself up. Ooh, that is an intense plank. Okay, so let's try all of this to the other side. I'm going to bring my block over. Come into your gate pose position and come up. So check your alignment first. The back leg is angled inward a little bit. You have your hips are not level, so this hip's a little higher, but your chest is up, the leg is straight, you've got your foot at a comfortable angle. So let's shift and pull it up. Just a shift. Now this is interesting for me. For some reason, I feel like I can shift a lot further on this side. I don't know why, or if it's just my imagination running away with me. Okay, let's try to add that side bend. Just might be my imagination. Side bend down, stretch, come up, and back in. Let's get the shift first. This is something a little different than what we've done. We see this a lot in Pilates, in reformer classes and mat Pilates, where we have that reach out to create length. Okay, we're going to hold our side plank. Now the neat thing about this is I don't have to actually put my hand on the ground at all, right? If I have a wrist problem or a shoulder problem, I don't have to put any weight on this, as long as I have my body distributed correctly. Okay, so you can hold here, or if you'd like to try that full plank, you've got to get weight on the hand. Make sure there's a straight line between your shoulder, your wrist, and your elbow. And then we pick that bottom leg up off the floor, or we can put it in front for a starfish plank. Good, couple breaths. This is called Vashisthasana. Bring the knee back down and pull yourself up and relax. Great job. Come back to your hands and knees, facing your mat. Take a child's pose for me. That always feels nice after doing some plank work where we might have a lot of weight onto our shoulders. If another pose feels better than child's pose, take that as well. Now we are working at doing a 3-minute plank. And next week is our last week of classes before I drive back to Minnesota. So we're getting close to our goal of working on that 3-minute plank. We've done a 2-minute plank, but we have not done a 2.5. So here's what I would like for you to decide. You can do a 2.5-minute plank, or I'm going to cue you the time we're at. You can do a 1-minute plank, a 30-second break, or a 30-second easier variation, and then another 1-minute plank. Okay, you guys got that in your head. So I'm going to count every 30 seconds. I'll give you a chance to have an optional break. And bird dog are great choices. That side bend without putting any weight on your hand is a good choice. So I want you to think about what's going to work best for your body today. and get in position. So I'll get our stopwatch ready. And our plank will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, and begin. Okay. So my goal is to stay in this plank for the entire 2.5 minutes. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to give you guys every 30 seconds, give you the option to change what you're doing. I'm going to give you the option to take a break for 30 seconds in the middle of this. So there's 30 seconds. All right. If you can, try to maintain it for that, at least that 1 minute, and then maybe decide if you need that 30-second break. And the break might mean that you just allow your knees to drop to the floor, something like that, or you can take a child's pose. Okay, check your core alignment. Check your breathing. Check your stability. That's 1 minute. Do you need a 30-second break? If so, please take it. Now, you might be down on your elbows, but I want you to check to make sure you have a straight line from your shoulder through your elbows into your wrists. And after class on Tuesday in the chat, Esther was saying that that was a cue that really helped her to fine-tune her plank, was to get that straight alignment. Okay, you guys, that's 1.5 minutes. We have 1 minute to go. Last 60 seconds for our 2.5 minute plank. So really start to think about breathing, stabilizing your core. Tell yourself, I am strong. Nice breathing, nice breathing. Good job, everybody. You have 30 seconds to complete this 2.5 minute plank. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, you know, that's the beauty of our classes. Team LisaBug, it really does push us to do something maybe we would not do on my own. And I know that's the case for me. If I wasn't here with you guys doing this, I might not do this 2.5 minute plank. You guys, we have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Take a child's pose or any other stretch that you need. Maybe roll your wrists out. Wow. So if you're not able to stay for the chat today, I want you to send me a little note and let me know what you did for your plank today and how you did with it, so I can keep track of how everyone's going with getting ready to do a 3-minute plank. Okay, so let's come up onto our feet and we'll do some standing leg strength poses. So let's take our legs nice and wide and turn the right foot out. Find your warrior 2. Oh, my muscles are shaking. Oh, that was some hard work. Okay, so we did this standing up with our legs together in mountain. We did it on our knees. And now I want you to do a warrior 2 with a shift to a side angle pose. Come up and then realign your spine. Maybe even shift back this way a little bit if you can. So we'll shift out right, side angle pose, come back up, and shift either neutral or a little bit to the back. We're shifting into the future, stretching. We're pulling up to the present and maybe going back into the past a little bit. Good, let's do 2 more. So it's going to give us about 5 repetitions. Everything from the lower body down is nice and still and stable and strong. So let's hold this one, side angle pose hold. Now I want you to notice if this top shoulder is squared over the bottom shoulder, or are you rounding forward a little bit like this? So get everything stacked. The arm doesn't have to reach. You can bring it on your hip. In fact, I like this. I even like the arm behind the back a little bit. And then let's come into triangle. So all we're going to do is straighten the front leg and we are in triangle. So now let's do our shift and side bend to triangle. So pull yourself up, shift back a little bit if you'd like to try that, then shift out into the future and triangle or extended triangle or hand to your hip triangle. Let's do 2 more of those. Now, even though both legs are straight, I want your knee joints to be soft, so not locked out. Good. If bending that front knee feels better for you, go ahead and do side angle pose instead. Last one, triangle. Pull yourself back up and relax the arms down. Good. Shift into the other side. So pivot the foot in, pivot the foot out. Come into your nice warrior 2 here. Check to make sure shoulders are over the hips. Check your foot placement, that pada bandha. And let's shift out and come up and maybe even shift back. So really kind of focus on everything from here down, not moving. It's just that shift of your torso to the left and to the right. And if holding your arms up gets tiresome, it's not about what the arms are doing, right? It's about what the torso is doing. Okay, let's add our side angle pose. So shift out first, then side angle, stretch, pull up, and then maybe that other way a little bit. Check your head position, that cervical placement. Make sure that's neutral. Good. This one we will hold into side angle, or you can put the hand on your hip. Make sure your shoulders are level, not rounded forward. So pull that top shoulder back a little bit so you're nice and stacked. Then we'll slowly straighten out this left leg. It brings us right into triangle. And then we'll pull up from triangle. Optional little shift back. Good. I hope the sound is okay today because I have a tree company in my backyard right now, trimming a tree that died when we had a freeze, and I can hear it like it's really loud, but I hope it's not coming through on the video. This is our last one. Come up and relax down. Good. Let's turn both feet forward. Well, actually, let's turn them out just a smidge. This comes from our lymphatic warm-up, and it's our starfish twist. So we'll bend the right knee and rotate. And you can reach the hand down to the inside of the calf and give yourself a little tap, and then bend the other knee. Kind of like a double tap, too. We've done a little double tap on the inside of the calf. Or you can, if you're not lowering as much, you can come to the inner thigh here with that double tap. So we're twisting. Now, in the beginning of class, we talked about when we rotate, there's 2 different muscular actions. So we have the frontal oblique turning us forward, and then we have the backside oblique turning our body backward. And I want you to focus on both of those working together. Good. Now, if you'd like to try this without bending the knee, just rotate and come up. This takes a little bit more hamstring flexibility, but just go forward the amount that you can. It doesn't have to be deep. 2 more on each side. One more on each side. And come up. 5-pointed star. So what are the 5 points? Your head is 1. Your arms are 2 and 3. Your legs are 4 and 5. So spread everything nice and wide. Spread your fingers apart. And then bend your knees, come into goddess squat. Our elbows come down to about 90 degrees from our shoulders, or maybe a little lower. And we flex our wrists so your fingers are pointing out to the side walls. And it's like you're holding on to 2 heavy objects. We inhale the 5-pointed star. Take a nice big deep breath. We exhale to goddess squat and flex your wrists. And just take this at a pace that works great for you today. We're strengthening our legs, our quads, and our glutes, our inner thighs. We're strengthening through the arms because we're creating an imaginary workload here. We're really trying to tense up those muscles. And then we're focusing on our core. At beginning of class, we did that belly breathing. So when you come down, I want you to really brace your abs. Exhale, 3 and 2. And hold on 1. Now, if your arms are getting tired, you don't have to hold this position, but I want you to try to do the shift. So shift over, shift to the other side, side to side. Good, 2 more. Ooh, I'm really feeling in the legs. 1 more. Now shift to the right and then do a side bend. Come up, shift to the left, side bend. If you can keep this goddess squat position, great. If not, you can do anything here with your arms that's going to work for your body. Excellent. Can we get 1 more on each side? My legs are starting to say, Uncle. I wonder where that saying came from. Uncle, uncle. Whoops, shift, side bend, come up, and relax the arms down, straighten the legs, walk your feet together, shake everything out. Okay, so we had a heavy weight earlier. I want you to find that again. And we are going to do a halo exercise. This works our core on all sides of our core. It works our arms, triceps, and shoulders. It also works our balance a little bit. So I want you to stand in a split stance position. The back heel is lifted off the floor. Bring the weight under your chin. Now, a variation for the halo is just to do a little circle with the weight right in front of your forehead and to come around. So I want you to really listen to your shoulders here. You can do this without a weight as well. The full halo comes behind the head and around. So we're taking this workload and we're revolving it around the body so that the entire core has to brace as our body's center of gravity changes. So we're going to go 1 more time around this way and keep your feet like they are, but go the other direction with the halo. So keep that split stance, go around the other way. Good. Breathe. Back heel is lifted, makes it more challenging, but you can put both feet on the ground flat if that feels a little bit better for you as well. Let's go 1 more time around this way. Come back to center and then give yourself a break. Then we'll change the feet. So your left foot is in front. Your right foot, the heel is lifted. We're going to start to the left side first. So left goes around. Now I've noticed when I do this, it's kind of weird. I have an old shoulder injury that sometimes it's not painful, but it'll pop on me. It's a biceps tendon. And sometimes when I do this to this direction, I feel it. I'm not feeling that today, so I was waiting for it to happen, and I'm pleasantly surprised. That's good. Let's go one more time this way. Then keep your feet like they are, but go the other direction. Do you feel your shoulders, your triceps working? The core through the side body, the back of the spine, the front of the spine. I also feel my front leg is very active and working. Let's go one more time around this way. Great job, and relax. Okay, set that weight close to your mat so we can use it, and also your block close. So we're going to come down onto our back now. If you need a little pillow for your head, or if there's anything that you'd like to do to make yourself comfortable for this, if you have some low back issues, you might want to bring your chair to put your feet on a chair as well as an option. So let's come down and just get nice and prepared and comfortable. That's what Patanjali said. Yoga should be easy and comfortable. I don't know what he was thinking. That's what he said. So what I want you to do is find your weight and hold on to the ends of it, and then protract your shoulder blades. So you're lifting your shoulders off the mat and then flatten it down and do a little retraction. So we're not bending and straightening our arms, but we're using this resistance just to protract. That's going to fire the muscles of the chest and to push the weight up to the ceiling. Try to press your low back down into the floor a little bit. And then if you'd like to add a little bit more challenging option, we can bring our knees up into tabletop here, and we'll protract and retract just a few more times. So again, we're working on shoulder girdle mobility, which we can lose over time. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more. And then relax. So if you'd like to add a little bit of inner thigh, I want you to grab your yoga block and put it between your knees. So when your feet are on the floor, you're going to push into the yoga block. You could also use your small ball. That would be great here. You can also push into the block with your knees up into tabletop. I'm going to set my knees down, push into the block. Let's bring the weight back up into the hands. Protract a little bit, so reach it up toward the ceiling, and then bring your arms any amount above your head. Pull it up, and then retract. So we push up, protract. We reach the weights a little bit. Come back up and down. Now this can be done without your weight, so you can have your hands here. Protract, reach, up, and retract. Let's do 3 more of those. And we are working our lats, our triceps, and our core. 2 more. Ooh, this is challenging with the 10-pounder. 1 more. And lower down. Okay, release the weight off to the side. You still have the option to keep the block between the knees. Brace your elbows on the floor. And we'll drop the knees over to the right, maybe a count of 3. And then come up. Drop the knees over to the left, about a count of 3, 2, 1, and come up. So that's one option. Another option is to bring your knees up in table. Drop your knees to the right. Keep your left shoulder blade down. Hold for a count of 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Drop the other direction. 3, 2, 1, and come up. Now I want you to feel 2 different actions. You're pushing your shoulder blade down into the floor while your knees are dropped the opposite way. So you have a push down while you're trying to pull your legs up a little bit. Let's do 2 more each direction. About a count of 3. And switch. This is an oblique rotation. Great core strengthener. 1 more each side. Push your knees into the block. And come up. Last one. Hold 3, 2, 1. Come up. And then relax your feet down. You can remove that block for a moment. Keep it close though, because we're going to have an opportunity to use it for a stretch. So place your feet about hips distance apart. Push into all the 3 points of your feet and lift up into bridge. Hold for a count of 3, 2, 1, and come down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift. Holding for a count of 3, 2, 1, and come down. So let's get 5 reps. We have 3 more to go. Squeezing the glutes and the hamstrings. Inhaling at the bottom, exhaling to press up. 2 more reps. And lower down. 1 more time. Press those hips up. This time we'll hold at the top. Your option is to grab your block and slide it underneath your hips. So now we can relax our hips down onto the block. This is called a supported bridge. So we're not really using our leg muscles anymore to hold our bridge up. The block is doing that work for us. But this is a wonderful way to stretch our hip flexors. So I'd like for you to bring your right knee up. Just kind of hold it around the knee, or you can hold it underneath the thigh. And then we're going to slide the left leg out until we can get it pretty straight and stretch that hip flexor. This is such a wonderful stretch. Now, if you have pretty flexible quads and hip flexors, you might not feel a big sensation here, but I'm pretty tight, so I'm really feeling this wonderful stretch in the in the hip flexor. But I was just about ready to say hamstring, because if you want, you can straighten that right leg up any amount and stretch. You can also do some ankle pumps here, which is nice to add in. Flex and point. Oh, just about another 10 seconds holding our stretch, pumping the ankle, lengthening the leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Set that right foot back down to the floor. Pull your left knee up and hug it in toward your chest. Stabilize it there and start to slide the right leg forward until you feel a little stretch there, and just relax. Breathe. Notice any difference between the right and left side. And then if you'd like to stretch that leg up any amount, just give it some length and maybe some ankle pumps here. Oh, this is something I need to do on a more regular basis. My body's telling me this right now. Got a lot of tightness going here. Okay, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set that left foot down. You'll bend both knees just for a supported bridge here. Or you can try elongating both legs away from you. So be real careful when you do this to make sure it's okay for your lower back to lengthen your legs way out. You're going to stretch both hip flexors at the same time. You're going to just allow your legs to relax, your feet to relax. If this doesn't feel okay for you, another option is to do your Supta Baddha Konasana, or bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open out here. You can also get rid of the yoga block if that's problematic for you. So let's close our eyes. Come back to the belly breath if you'd like. You can place your hands on your belly. And as you inhale, expand and let the belly rise up. Exhale and let the belly flatten down. Maybe about 5 nice deep breaths. One more deep inhalation and a complete exhalation. And then we'll close the knees together or bend them, bring them back into our regular bridge. Then push into the feet to lift your hips up off the block. Slide it out from underneath you and roll your spine down 1 vertebra at a time. Good. And then let's do a half happy baby. So we're going to lift the right leg up, bend it quite a bit so it's coming into your shoulder, and you're imagining you're putting a footprint right on the ceiling, and you can hold this knee in towards you underneath the thigh, or you can reach up and grab your foot and pull the knee down toward the armpit. You can also extend this bottom leg. That's going to give you that hip flexor stretch. Oh, yes, yes. Good stretch. Relax and breathe. All right, if your left leg is straightened, rebend it to set it to the floor. Set your right foot back down and rest for a moment. And then we'll bring the left knee toward the chest. You can hug it in behind the thigh. Flatten your foot like you're going to put a foot stamp on the ceiling. An option to slide the right leg to straight or part way is all I can get. Okay, I've got to put this on my list of stretches to do every day. That would be something nice to do in a LisaBug month, is we could have a list of must-do stretches that I'm going to do in every single class. This one would be on the list. If you've got a favorite that I should include, let me know. Maybe we'll do that in the month of May for yoga. Okay, rebend the right knee. Set the left foot down. And then we'll come up to seated, so you can roll to a side, or you can bring both knees up and do a little rolling like a ball a couple of times until you can get yourself to come all the way up. It's a little momentum. And then come to a seated wide leg stretch. So we're going to open the legs wide, come to a comfortable seat. It's nice sometimes to do this one up against the wall because you can actually sit straight without collapsing. So I have the wall behind me. So you can sit up against a wall. You can just sit up straight on your own accord, or you can stretch forward a little bit here. And just breathe. Flex your ankles. Knees can be bent a little bit if that feels better for your hamstrings and your low back. And let's hold 3 more breaths wherever you're at today. And then come back up. For one final time, we are going to do our shifts. Because I like to take a little bit of something, kind of a focus, and put it through the class in different positions. So sit down into your sitting bones and shift to the right. Make sure your left sitting bone did not come up, and then shift to the left. And side to side. Now shift to the right, hold, take a side bend. And come up. Shift to the left and a side bend. And up. And let's take a breath together. Inhale, reach the arms, press the palms together. Exhale to pull the thumbs into heart center. As we pause to celebrate our hard work today. As we pause to celebrate Esther's birthday today. Happy birthday, Esther. And the light and joy that reside within my heart honor the light and joy in the hearts of each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I'll get our recording shut off if you can stay for a chat. And of course, a happy birthday song to Esther. Otherwise, send me a note and let me know how your plank was today. Okay, I'll be right back.